Did I want a relaxed challenge-free August? Yes. Was I planning on joining 3 new readathons in the month of August? No, but I couldn't help myself. Hello everyone, my name is Rinda and welcome to Book Nook Chats. In today's video, I'm going to be going over the 3 challenges that I'm taking part in for the month of August. I'm super excited. I didn't plan to join any challenges this month, but I couldn't resist. And these challenges are really fun. One is a team-based competitive challenge, the other one is a dragon theme challenge, and the third one is a 24-hour relax and readathon. So some really good challenges in there. The main thing I didn't want was a bingo-based or prompt-based challenge. I'm already taking part in 2, or rather I took part in one over the summer, June and July. That was the Readathon challenge. It was really fun, but at the end of July, the last 2 weeks, I've kind of hit a reading slump and I just haven't felt like reading anything. It ended up being a little bit more intense than I expected it to be. I have a video wrapping up my reads for that challenge, so you can check that out if you want. I'm also participating in the Our Fantasy Bingo challenge for the year, so I've been slowly making my way through those. Wherever I can overlap books between challenges, I do that. That's just the most practical way to go about it. And for the challenges that I'm going to be talking about today, I also have a lot of reads overlapping for those. And so these are really chill, relaxed challenges. I'm super happy. I really wanted to be able to read anything, not genre specific. Also, I wanted to read some more non-fantasy books, maybe even non-romance books, but just like be able to mood read my way through August. So I really like the 3 challenges that I'm joining because they perfectly allow me to do that. I want to take a quick moment to mention a video by Manda. I'm going to link her channel below. She has a great video up on 12 upcoming readathons for August. So if you'd like to check out some other readathons that are happening in this month and join those, you can go ahead and look through her video. This is where I found 2 of the readathons. So the first challenge that I'm taking part in is the battleathon challenge hosted by Mel Leon Reads. I'll link her channel and video down below. You can go over all the details for the battleathon. I'm not going to go over everything in this video except that it's a competitive team-based challenge, so you need to join one of 4 teams. I joined the House of Stars. The way this challenge works is based on a point system on your star ratings. The higher you rate a book, the more stars, the more points you get. So if you rate a book 4 stars, you get 400 points. If you rate a book 5 stars, you get 500 points. So the core goal of this readathon is to predict your 4 and 5 star reads, the ones that you're super confident about and really excited to get to reading. And so I have a couple of strategies that I'm going to use going into this. I realized that I have a pretty good record of reading 4 and 5 star books. I checked my overall stats for this year. I've read 52 books in total, and 37 of those were 4 star and above reads, which is amazing. And I didn't realize it until I checked. There are books that I have been DNFing, and primarily because if I am not feeling it, I don't want to push myself to read anything. Reading is supposed to be enjoyable, but I cannot afford any DNF books this month, because if you do DNF a book, you will have to count it and you get only 50 points for that. So I have to make sure that any book that I pick up and read, I'm super confident about finishing it and rating it a 4 or 5 stars. My 5-pronged strategy involves, number 1, going for sequels. I think this is the most obvious one. If you've enjoyed the first book and had a great time with it, you're likely to enjoy the second book as well, especially if the first book was a 4 star and above read. So that's a really good solid bet. The second is going for known authors. There are certain authors that I just really enjoy their writing style and their storytelling, and so the likelihood of me rating them 4 or 5 stars is extremely high. The third is going ahead and reading some classics based on movies that I've loved, but I've just never read the books. Fourth is just picking certain genres and themes that I know I enjoy or have been enjoying lately and reading more based on my personal preferences. And the fifth one wasn't exactly a strategy, but it kind of worked out really well. There are a couple of books that were amazing reads for me, and I was planning on reading them in August. I'm so excited because I'll finally be getting the physical copies for those books, and I checked whether they would be permitted, and they are. So I think those will end up working really well for the battleathon. Okay, so getting into the TBR that I've planned for this, starting off with the sequels. The first sequel that I have up on my list is Heart of the Sun Warrior. I read Daughter of the Moon Goddess last month, and it was a great, actually earlier this month, not last month, and it was a really great read. I enjoyed it. I did find that the first book felt quite satisfying in the entirety of its plot, so I'm a little unsure about whether I want to get into this now, just because I have been in a bit of a reading slump for the past 2 weeks of July, and I want to take it easy and also read some non-fantasy books first. So I'll see if I get around to this, but if I do, it has the word sun, so you get 10 bonus points if you have a word related to the team that you're part of. So if I have any words that are related to stars like moon, sun, they get counted for bonus points. The next sequel I have on my list is Wings of Fire. So I read, this is the first book, The Dragonet Prophecy. I'm going to be reading The Lost Heir, which is the second book. This is a great dragon-filled middle grade fantasy, and I loved this first book. So I'm really excited to read The Lost Heir. The next sequel I'll be reading is Daughter of the Siren Queen. Daughter of the Pirate King was such a great, fun, banter-filled romantasy book, and it's short. I really enjoyed Trisha Levinsiller's pace of storytelling, so I think this will be a perfect, light, fun read. And then going into my strategy for known authors, I will be picking up 2 books by Agatha Christie. She's my all-time favorite cozy mystery novelist. I love any and all books by her. It's the most solid bet there is. I've been reading so many of her books over the years, and lately, as I've gotten back into reading, I'm picking up her books again. There are many that I haven't read yet, like this one. So Cards on the Table is one, and then I also have And Then There Were None. This is a book I must have read at least 15 years ago, and I remember it left quite an impression, and I've thought about it every now and then, but I never read it again. So I'm really excited to see how I feel about it after 15 years. So I will be reading that next month as well. And then I have The Language of Thorns by Leigh Bardugo. I love her writing. I've been making my way through the Grishaverse, reading all her books within that. So Language of Thorns is going to be one of her side books that I read, and I'm super excited. I think it has those fairy tales set within the Grishaverse, so it'll be quite interesting. And then for known authors, I also have Beach Read by Emily Henry. I read People We Meet on Vacation, and I've often heard that some of her other books are even better, so I rated that a 4 stars. I really enjoyed her style of writing, so I'm really excited to read another book by her, and I think Beach Read will be a fun, again, non-fantasy read. And then the 2 books that I'm going to be rereading, and I'm so excited, are The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea and The Emperor's Soul by Brandon Sanderson. Both these books were 5-star reads for me a couple of months back, and I just haven't been able to stop thinking about it. If you've seen any of my past videos, you know, like, I've been mentioning these books since I read them. And The Emperor's Soul by Brandon Sanderson, the main character, Shy, I can't get her out of my head. I need to read it again, and my physical copies are going to be arriving in August, so I'm super excited to have them in my hand and read it. And then in terms of general preferences and themes, I really enjoy cozy fantasy books, and then also some Eastern fantasy books. So lately I have been reading more of those kind of books. So some other books that I have on my list are Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim. This seems like a very interesting story. And then I have When the Mountain Meets the Moon by Grace Lynn. This is a middle grade fantasy. Both of these have such beautiful covers, and I'm excited to potentially read these. One book that I am so excited to read, which is a new release, is Empire of Shadows by Jacqueline Benson. This is part of her Raiders of the Arcana series, and I just came across this. I don't think it's a very popular book. It's an Indiana Jones style adventure mystery. I've heard it has a lot of great banter, and I'm super excited to get to reading this. I think this is the book I'm most excited to read, and it's a new author, but I feel really confident that I'm going to love it and enjoy it. Also because I think she has reworked the story. She had published something earlier, and then she's really reworked the same characters and expanded the plot line and added more depth to it. I don't know what the reason is, but because she's reworked and republished this story in its more extended format, I feel quite confident that the quality of it is going to be really good or even better. So I'm really excited to read this one. And then I also have Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett on my list. This is also a book club pick with a Fable club that I'm part of. So I'm really excited to have some good discussions on this book as part of the club. And then 2 other books that I have, which I guess go into like the cozy fairy fantasy realm, is Stardust by Neil Gaiman. This is also part of my Our Fantasy bingo board. And then Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. Both of these sound really interesting and nice. The perfect cozy kind of reads. Coming to the classics, I have have two classics that I would potentially like to read. The first one is Little Women. I love this book. This is such a beautiful hardcover edition, and I actually watched the two movies just last month, the one with Emma Watson and then the older one. Both of them were really great. I loved the story, so I feel quite confident that I'm going to rate this quite highly. And then the next classic I have on my list is Pride and Prejudice. I've seen these movies and I really enjoy a good period romance or like Regency era dramas, and so I think this one will be a much awaited read because it's a classic and I still haven't gotten around to reading it, but I think this is going to be good. And that's it for my TBR for the battleathon. I obviously am not going to read all of these books, or maybe I will. I don't know. I might surprise myself. But I really wanted to have a couple of books from different genres and different themes, just so that based on my mood, I would have something to pick up. And I feel quite happy and confident with this list, and I'm sure a lot of these are going to be 4 and 5-star reads. Moving on to the next challenge. The next challenge is a really fun one and it's dragon themed. It's called Draconathon. I'm super excited. I loved dragon themed stories, novels. I love it. I don't know what it is about having dragons in a story, which is so interesting and fascinating and cool. This challenge is hosted by Jade Juniper and Salil Saleen. They both seem really sweet. They have a really great Discord channel and it's like a very good closed community group. They also have a Fable club. This is a pretty chill challenge. There are only 5 prompts and you can even repeat books for the prompts. The 5 prompts are spells, nature, oldest on TBR, love, and 250 page or less read. So pretty easy, and you can have 1 book for each prompt. It's a month-long challenge, so it's pretty relaxed. They also have 5 activity prompts in this challenge, like a mindfulness activity, organizing shelves, a craft activity, taking a photo with a flower and a book. So it's just very simple, very easy, and I'm super excited to get to some crafting. I was thinking I'm going to make some bookmarks. I think that'll be really fun. So they have an entire spreadsheet set up for this challenge and you can update it, and basically the way it works is the books that you pick, the number of the page numbers and other activities that you do, you're able to collect gems based on that, and so at the end that totals your score. So the spreadsheet does all that for you, which I think is great, and they have their templates available as well. So I'm gonna link their video below with all the details, so go check it out. It's a really fun challenge, really good group. So here are my picks for the prompts for the Draconathon challenge. First up for spells is The Changeling Sea by Patricia McKillop. I have not read anything by her, but I think she's quite a popular fantasy author and I'm looking forward to it. And then for nature, I have The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea. I think this fits that prompt really well. I picked Where the Mountain Meets the Moon for my oldest on the TBR. And then under 250 pages, I picked Dealing with Dragons. I think this is another classic kind of older fantasy book that I haven't read, and younger as well. I have a lot of younger books on here for my dragon themed. I think 4 of these are middle grade fantasies if I'm not mistaken. For Dealing with Dragons, I've read a couple of quotes and it seems interesting and fun. And then for love, I am going ahead with Lost Air, the sequel to Wings of Fire. And those are my picks for Draconathon, and I'm super excited for this dragon themed challenge. They also have a master list of dragon book recommendations. So if you are a person who enjoys dragon themed books, I think it's a great resource to pull from. And the third and final readathon is Relax and Readathon, hosted by Reading Nymph. I think she hosts this challenge on the 8th or 10th of every month. So if I'm not mistaken, the 24-hour challenge happens on August 10th. I will leave her video linked down below so you can go check out all the details there. So this challenge has a couple of reading prompts like read a book on your TBR, continue a series you're in the middle of, a book you've been wanting to read for a while, and a short book. So you could choose one book that fulfills all these prompts or pick 1 or 2 books. And then there are some lifestyle prompts as well, so like make a hot drink, do a cozy hobby, go outside, light a candle, play some music. So it's really relaxed, it's really fun. It's all about just enjoying the process of reading. Again, in this I am looking forward to just doing some crafting activities, and I think it'll be really nice. I have a couple of short books on my TBR so far, so I'm just going to pick one of those and read that on this day. That's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you'd like to stay tuned for how my readathons go and for more such content, do consider liking and subscribing, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again next time. Bye.